Good evening. So we're here with our good friend and neighbor Sam Pruitt, and Sam's been through a few things here the last 6 weeks or so, and so we're going to talk a little bit about his history and what we're going to be treating here today. So Sam had a pacemaker, and then he went and got a new one. He got the combo platter, right?
Right.
Pacemaker, fibrillator, you're good to go in relationship to that. Now, while he was getting healed up with the pacemaker, not being able to move his arm and that, he was doing some work at one of the auto body shops, doing some electrical work. And tell us a little bit about how you fell and hurt your hip.
I was backing up and to the side of conduit going up the wall to get it straight for my helper to strap it up on a ladder, and I stepped back with my foot between two heavy boxes full of steel. Lost my balance and started to fall, but I was turning, but my foot wasn't. So our foot still pointing one direction, I turned a complete 180 degrees around with the joint. And it's like I could hear and feel the femur in my leg, or what I thought at the time was just the hip joint, just popping out of place. Fell on my left side when I did finally hit the ground, and the right leg, which is the one we're talking about, fell plumb over the left leg and just laying limber on the other side. And the pain was excruciating. It was one of those situations like an animal hitting the road, running around in a circle. You got to move, you got to do something to stop it. But I got my helper to help me grab the leg and flip me and the leg back over where the position's supposed to be, and lay flat on the concrete. And that relieved it for a while, or at least the total agony of it, until we could get an ambulance there to
get you there.
Slide a board underneath me and lift me in one piece.
And get you off to the hospital.
Right.
So Sam has hip replacements on both sides. So actually the first time was on the right side, which he re-injured. And really what happened is that femur, right? When you twisted and turned, it just snapped the bone, right?
Snapped out the side of the
Snapped
femur.
out the side. So excruciating pain. So we're dealing with a couple different things. So we had to go back in. They had to wait a few days, get a second hip replacement done. They had to take screws, screw the bones into it. So we got a combination of a hip replacement plus a fracture. And he's also working on another hip replacement on this side. So all his weight and everything is going to have to be distributed on this left side, and yet he was having some complications from the pacemaker and fib. So you can see from one leg in relationship to the other that this leg is about twice the size as the other. So what day was the accident?
Saturday the 22nd.
22nd. So we're a little over 2 weeks, and the surgery was about a week after that. Is that about correct?
New Year's Eve. Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve. So we're a few days down the road, and so we're going to be looking at some things. So basically what we're going to do, because he is a captive audience, he can't go anywhere or not very fast, we're going to spend some time, and it's really, we're going to help him do a few different things. One, we need to get this fracture to heal. Two, we need to get the incision and that wound to heal. We need to reset the neurology. We need to start getting some activation here to start pumping those fluids and everything. So we're going to do some other protocols such as lymphatics, maybe some detoxification, some other things in order to really get that leg to do. But again, we have to get the nerve reset, and we're going to use the cold laser to do that. So when I'm looking at the nerve, and any time that you have an injury, you have an operation, even an athlete that's an Olympic athlete or NFL or a sprinter or something like that, even a little three-prong orthoscopic surgery will decrease the frequency of firing of that nerve. So it's sort of instance like we're down here by the river, right? Our cell phones, instead of being on 4 bars, is on barely a bar. I get like a half a bar,
Right.
bar. So we don't get very good reception here. Same thing after the surgery, we've decreased the frequency of firing in that nerve, so we want to bring that nerve from a half a bar to 1 bar up to 4 bars, and that's what the laser does better than anything in the world. So these are things I've been teaching for 20 plus years now. So our first goal is going to be to laser and reset the body. 2, we're going to come back and we're going to reset the nerve. Then we're going to go to the injury, the site of the incision, and we're going to laser that. And then I'm going to show you some more advanced work. So we're going to take this in a couple different stages. So that's the beginning.